Dr. Almer, Advanced Neurospinal Solutions, and the question is about vertigo and dizzy. I'm also throwing in here lightheaded because it's very, very interesting subject, and it seems to be a mystery to most of the medical community, and it doesn't have to be, because it's one of the most clear-cut parts of the nervous system that you can find. What is the difference between dizzy and vertigo? Actually, vertigo is the overall comment, and the common term is dizzy. Anytime you've got where your world is moving, or you feel like you're moving in your world, we're going to tend to call it vertigo. We tend to say dizzy is more like a spinning, and that it doesn't have to be. Peripheral nervous system, we tend to divide, as doctors, we tend to divide it up into peripheral nervous system problem versus central nervous system problem. The easy differentiation is, are you moving or is the world moving? If you're moving, it's a brain issue. It's a central nervous system problem. If the world is moving, it's a sensory problem, and therefore a peripheral nervous system problem. If it's floating, if things are moving in a linear fashion, it has to do with some impact from the lower part of the labyrinth, which feels translation, the utricle and saccule, the otolith we call it, and the neurology that's associated with it. Meldy-debarkment syndrome is a common one, where you get on a boat and you're getting used to being on the boat, and then pretty soon you don't feel that movement, but then you get off the boat and you're still on the boat, right? You're still doing that, and it doesn't go away. That's an actual issue for all the neurology relating to that, but it's become centralized because you're not really feeling that. You're not on a boat now, right? And then the other part that I wanted to throw in there is lightheadedness, because lightheadedness doesn't feel as much like a movement as an unsettled nature. Ooh, man, I'm going to go out, right? And that is always autonomic or blood flow, meaning I've cut off some blood flow to my brain, particularly usually to the brainstem itself. Remember, we got the internal carotid that supplies 85% of the brain, but we've also got the vertebral artery, which supplies the brain stem, and the vestibular system. Wow, that sounds like, right? Vertigo. It's vertiginous because of the vestibular nuclei that receive the information from our head sensors, and also all the information from our eyes and brainstem, and from our body of where we are in space. And it's the great integrator for keeping us upright without even having to think about it. And that. So, but lightheaded is going to be, I'm not getting the blood flow, or I got way too much blood flow. I turn white and I pass out, or I've turned white and I feel like I'm going to pass out and I'm getting nausea. Okay, that's a restricted blood flow. I turn red in the face, and we call that vasovagal. It's too much blood flow in that. And so all of that is autonomic. So see how we can peel these things away and figure out, and it's actually a lot more clear than the basic medical community gives it credit. Usually it's always an inner ear problem, and even the guys who are fairly good at it, it's a canalicular problem. Now, to their credit, most of the time it is, and most of the time it is the right posterior canal, the BPPV, that's going on. But there's so many other possibilities, and the longer you have it, the more you're creating an issue centrally that has to be fixed too. and we get rid of those flecks, and all of a sudden now I'm dizzy in a different way. Well, yeah, because your brain totally remodeled to handle that issue. So hopefully that makes things a little more clear, gives you a little more to work with. If you have any friends, neighbors, relatives or whatever that have these kind of issues, send them off the link, and that if they have any other questions, feel free to ask. We'd love to do some more videos. And we're here when you're ready to take your life back.